Hi, it's time for another math easy solution. Here to discuss one-sided limits. Basically go over what this is. I won my earlier video a while ago on limits here. I just want to recap that first. Yeah, so if you have a function like this one is f of x right here, and then we'll call this point here where these two lines approach each other, or we'll call this L, meaning the limit. Even if f of a at this point, let's say this is x equals to a, is not at this curve, the limit still exists, and you'll have limit as x approaches a from this one's is f of x. If it equals to L, then the limit exists. Yeah, so it exists even though f of a is not equal to L. If it is equal to L, just like any other curve, then the limit exists nonetheless. So this is the general one here, but let's say you had a function that looks like, okay, so let's say we had a function that looks like this. This is f of x now, and it's broken up into two parts here at a. So then now the limit here, we're not gonna have a limit here, because as the limit as it approaches this side, you're gonna have a different value of L. We'll call this L1. And then this one here, if you approach from the right side, so if you approach from this side here, or the right side of A, this is the left side, you're gonna get L1. And this one you're gonna get L2 right here. And then this one, I just put this in general, so even f of fa is not anywhere near it. Now we'll look at, but the problem with this here, actually, even though the limit doesn't exist, we could still consider this as a one-sided limit. Okay, so now this brings us to one-sided limits. Basically, in this case, we're going to have limit as x approaches a negative sign on top. This means from the left. Yeah, so from the left of a, so this would be approaching from the negative side. This would be from the positive, if you had a plus, of fx equals L here. So we have this one-sided limit here. And similarly, if you approach from the right side, if you approach from the right side, and then you get a limit here. So this would be a one-sided limit. So now if we look at this one right here, if they equal to the same one, so let's just say that if limit of fx from the left side approaches the limit as x approaches a positive, or from the right side equals the same, equals to the same limit, or in other words, it's just going to be from this side, you're going to go up to here, this side you're going to go here, then we have a limit exists here. Yes, limit exists, and basically limit as x approaches a of fx equals L, and we have this our limit. So this is from general, any side you go to, you get that. Yeah, now to illustrate this one-sided limits more in depth, is just to go through this pretty useful example here. So here's a graph of, let's say this is just g of x, and now so you have it's broken up into two parts right here, and as you see it's broken up into two right here, and also at this point here it doesn't actually equal this value here. So this would be, let's say, g of 5 here. That's all this closed circle means g of 5 is that. And this one there is none here, because it just means it's not defined at 2. So now let's look at the first part here. Basically find the limit x approaches to negative of g of x, or from the left side. So when we approach from the left side of 2 here, we approach it from this way. So as we're approaching it, we're going to be on this curve, and we're going to get, this one's going to equal to 3 right here. So now on this one here, limit of g of x as approaching from the right side, we approach from the right of the 2, or the plus, so then we're going to get on this curve, and we're going to get to this point right here, which is equals to 1. And now part C right here, this one states, well, what is the limit as x approaches 2 in general? Well, the values are different, so then there is no limit. There is no the same limit as I showed above. So then this does not exist right here, and it does not exist because from approaching from different sides, you're going to get different values. So now let's look at the limit of x approaches negative 5 from the negative side, or the left of this. So we approach from this side here. Remember, even though that g of 5 is equal to 1, so call this g of 5 is equal to 1 here. That's the one value. It doesn't. We ignore that in the limit because we're approaching from this side. So we approach this curve. It doesn't have to equal it. So we approach, and we get this value of 2 right here. So this one's going to equal to 2. And if we approach from the right side, we're going to go approach from like this, and then this one we're just going to go this way on this curve, and it's also approaching 2. So as you can see, the limit of the positive side is 2, so then the limit of g of x or just x approaches 5 in general, this limit exists, and this equals to 2. Well, yeah, that's all for today. Hopefully you learned from this example. It's pretty straightforward, and hopefully you learned about one-sided limits, and etc. And well, yeah, remember you can download these notes in the Dropbox link below, and hopefully learn, and stay tuned for another math easy solution.